Rabbit, rabbit. Hello, my witches. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to you, Joe. Welcome, Samantha. Welcome, Darcy and Laura and Roxanne and Catherine and Ellen Marie. Welcome to you, most especially to my patrons, Roxanne and Catherine and Laura. Thank you so much for your support. How's everybody doing? Got an itchy nose. Let's see. Oh, the greetings. I hope wherever you're watching from that you are healthy and safe and well and able to take a couple hours, hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it turns out to be, just for yourself, to just hang out with no agenda in community. And I welcome you here. All right, hold on one second. I had an itchy nose. I refuse to do it on camera. My hair and I are having disagreements lately. I feel like I've got a Cruella ponytail. Anyhow, I hope everyone is doing well. And what do I have to say tonight? Not much preamble at all, I guess. If you don't know what the rabbit rabbit thing is, this was not part of my childhood. This came up just in the last, I don't know, few years from friends on Facebook, but it's a thing where at the first of the month, on the first words out of your mouth on the first of the month should be rabbit rabbit, and it brings lots of good luck for the month. So what do? I set an alarm for 11:59 on the last day of the month that says 1 minute to rabbit rabbit. So I just shut the fuck up, and then when it hits midnight, I say rabbit rabbit, and we're done. Bob's your uncle. Oh, Sammy and Darcy, were you out playing today, Darce? Oh, I did the cousin it looked to sing. Okay, Samantha, your speech to text is freaking out. I'm back! Yay! Another one of my patrons. Welcome, my dear. Love and blessings to all of you. Yes, and it is the year of the rabbit. So when I posted on Facebook today, I said usagi usagi, which is Japanese for rabbit. And also my son, who is a rabbit, that was his name, his student name, when we were studying tea ceremony and calligraphy and stuff, was So Usagi. Mine was So Hikari, which means light. And I was so just humbled by that. That's the name that my teacher picked for me. So, all right, Cousin It. I did the Cousin It look. Oh, I see. I did the Cousin It look. Now, if you had capitalized the C and capital ITT, I would have known what you were saying. Tavia, welcome, another one of my wonderful patrons. I think the gang's all here. Thanks so much, you guys. And there are 13 watching. Blessed number. So, I did not take advantage of the opportunity to pull out the rabbit decks, because there are a couple. I'm saving those for a star. And even though it was a beautiful, bright, sunny day today, I just didn't have that springy, light, fluffy feeling quite yet. But I did have my windows open for a while this afternoon, and then I got a headache. So there's certainly some spring happening out there. But we've also had a lot of wet, and in the leaf litter, there's a lot of mold. So anyhow, I am allergic to the outdoors. Doesn't mean I don't love nature. So, here's what I want to say as a preamble. We finally arrived there. I've been doing some work at night, and I usually do readings too late at night. But, that's when it's time to just kind of go between the worlds and go a-wandering. But the fun thing when you do readings consistently is to see when the same things keep popping up. And after I did the Pavlov Tarot, and I was reading with it, and the Wheel of Fortune popped up a couple of times. Then I was reading with the Llewellyn last night, and twice again the Wheel of Fortune. But what's weird was when I did the unboxing for the Llewellyn, I did the horseshoe. The present position had the Wheel of Fortune in it, and of course I interpreted that for the collective. And then I did a reading for myself and threw the cards out in the horseshoe, and in that same position was the Wheel of Fortune. So I went back to the unboxing and looked at that reading just on a personal level, and this Llewellyn deck is incredible. Oh, Catherine, yeah. That's coming here too. Sorry, I had meatballs for dinner and I don't know what. Anyway, we won't go any further. Okay. So yeah, that's no fun, and it does get like that here too. Once things really start blooming, it's just a fine kind of greeny yellow on everything, and then I am in hell because I can't take antihistamines. So anyhow, a funner thing was, what was I doing? I was playing with light seers last night, and I laid a spread out, and I had gotten distracted while I was shuffling, so I didn't really have a question. And so they were just kind of, yeah, I'm not sure. So I put them back, reshuffled and shuffled and shuffled into the horseshoe spread, and all the same damn cards came up. All of them. So when you really connect, and it's not really connecting with the deck, it's connecting with your guides through the deck. You know, it's connecting with the Akashic record through the deck. It's connecting with, you know, the universe through the deck. So the deck is a vehicle. So anyhow, let's have a, I mean, it's weird. There's a night where I just don't, I feel like I don't have much to say. Uh-oh. Let's get started here. And let's start with a clearing. A clearing and grounding. It was really good when we did just a little more last week, so let's do that again. Wash your eyelashes with baby shampoo. Oh, that's an excellent idea, Tavia. I use artificial tears to wash them out, and then I have allergy eye drops, but that's a very good idea. All right, so let's start with a bell to just kind of bring us together. I'm thinking. Let's do our little elemental blessing first, and we'll end that with the bell. All right. And this truly is, for real, I'm not even lying, the last of the crumbs of my sage bowl. And underneath is some sandalwood. So, let me bring you the blessings of air and fire. May we be purified and charged, and by water and earth, may we be blessed and made whole. And by the bell, we invite spirit in. And by the second bell, let the sound clear your space of any other agendas, anything that you don't need right here, right now. Just let the sound kind of push it out to the corners, leaving you in a clear space. And with the third, let your mind just be really clear and open to messages. Let's go a little bit louder than that. There we go. And just feel the sound pushing out anything that is not of the spirit. I love that the drums are in tune with this bell. Just amazing. All right, now get comfortable in your body. Sit up if you're in a chair, get your feet flat on the floor. If you're lying down, uncross your ankles. And also you can roll your shoulders back and feel your shoulder blades kind of slide down your back and hug your spine. That opens you up here. Opens up your diaphragm so you can breathe really nice and easy but deeply. Just soften your belly and let the air flow in. And as you're breathing deeply, check in with your body. Feel your skin from head to toe. And wherever your attention touches, just feel it relaxing. And now turn your focus to the base of your spine, to the perineum, and feel that chakra, that energy center open up and a root go down into the earth. As we are poised in the sign of endings at this point of the shift in seasons and the shift from the dark to the light and the light to the dark. Just feel yourself anchored in the earth, and then feel that energy of earth come rising up. And just notice the sensations when it touches your physical body and begins to pour in. Pouring in green and gold. Feel it pour in and flow down your legs. Clear and sparkling and liquid and grounding and healing, and watch it start to fill up your torso, your pelvis, up, up, up. Feel every one of your organs that it touches. It wraps around and moves between until it is completely surrounding every atom in your body, and feel it rise up into your chest, rise up past your shoulder blades. Feel your chest open and your shoulder blades relax down. Let it rise up, and the muscles in your upper back relax and smooth out. And then you feel it begin to pour down your arms, and you feel those muscles relaxing. And then it starts to rise up your neck. It has the hardest job here with all the muscles in our head and face that can be so tense. So feel your neck softening and feel your lower jaw softening. You might even want to take your palms and just smooth the strongest muscles in your body right here. Strongest muscles in your body. Let those soften, and then let it rise up the back of your head. And feel your scalp relax. Feel your head just kind of easily swirling around that axis. In my voice classes, I used to talk about your head over a greasy pole. And feel it rise up to your upper jaw. And while you're at it, let your tongue relax down into the bottom of your mouth. Feel your cheeks softening. Feel the muscles around your ears softening. And around your nose, next to your nose, your upper lip, everything relaxes. And now all the tiny, tiny muscles around your eyes, so expressive. Let them relax. And all the muscles in your forehead. And now we're going to pump up that energy, releasing the breath all the way out. And a deep breath Brighten the energy, release only the breath. And again. Exhaling just the breath. All the way out. And then again. Out the crown. Watch the energy go up. And it reaches its own point, and then it comes and arcs all the way around. Feel this wonderful green gold cocoon, shell, egg all around you. But it's transparent, and it's permeable, and it lets all the good vibrations in. Joe was saying, operate from your highest vibration this month. How about every month and right now? This is where we say, when we raise our vibration and we do the affirmation, that nothing that does not match this vibration can cross the boundary of this shell. And you feel it go all the way down into the ground, connecting with that root and back down into the earth. And then reach up into the cosmos, open up that crown and feel silver and blue, stars, planets, the great, vast, infinite, miraculous, ever self-regenerating universal energy come pouring in. This is the energy of timelessness, the energy of space, the energy of no limitation. And feel it pour down, and as it connects with the earth energy, you just feel tingles all over your body. Tingles happening everywhere in your body. Everywhere there's a little spark of earth energy, cosmic energy joins. They make like an infinity sign together, and they begin to spin. And feel how that spin energizes you. Feel your body become almost transparent, made of light. You can see all this wonderful spinning light inside. And we say thank you to Mother Earth for anchoring us and keeping us safe. And thank you to Grandmother Moon, Father Sun, for connecting us with the vast, limitless truth of our nature. And come back to the space now. All right. Oh, let's take a second. Put your attention to that shell again, that egg. Take a deep breath. And let's push a layer out. And watch it just goes. And it connects with the energy of every other person that is doing this exercise right now, whether they're watching it in this temporal time or in some future time, because magic has no time, no space. So feel the connection. And then let's say welcome to guides and guardians, allies and ancestors. We thank you for being here. Take a moment and just call into presence all of your guides. Call them into your attention, because they're always present. Thank them for being there. Ask them to please party with each other, all of our guides, and help us by bringing messages through that are useful and helpful and healing to all of us. And we offer you fresh water, and we offer you and the decks the fire of Azrael. So the spirit of divination is here. And if you want to go grab a deck, please do. You know, let's play together. All right, now to introduce the tools for tonight. We have, first of all, this is the grandpappy of all the ones I have out tonight here, the Sacred Path cards by Jamie Sams and Linda Childers. This is the companion deck to the medicine cards. I went for decks that I just have not even thought about for a long time tonight. And it turns out they're all very kind of nature oriented. Second one is The Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reed and Gina Della Grataglia. Then we have, then we have the Hedge Witch Botanical Oracle, and this I need to acknowledge. Uh-oh, I don't find it. It'll be in my document because this was a gift deck as well. This is Ciolo Thompson. I hope I pronounced that right. And then we have the Wildwood Tarot by Mark Ryan and John Matthews, illustrated by Will Worthington. Then the Animal Spirit Oracle, and this, you're looking at the sheath here, and then you open the sheath and it's a snappy box, and you open the snappy box and there's a ribbon pull to take out the book and also the deck, which is in another two-part box which has its own ribbon pull. I think I have a bias with this deck because of the excessive packaging, but I know there are many people that absolutely swear by it, so bias overcome, or at least suspended. And then we have, of course, the Llewellyn Tarot, newest member of the collection, and quite an amazing deck. And the stories are really cool too. All right, now, boy, it got quiet. Did y'all make it back? Let's go for our Astro Dice. And as I remove the Astro Dice, I'm going to turn on our flashy ball and tell my guides, please use that if you really need to get my attention tonight. If you want to underline, add an exclamation point, just make the ball go off. All right. What energies do we need to know about tonight? We're under a Cancer moon. Ooh. Mars in Aquarius in the 8th. Ooh wee. This is fucking awesome. So Mars is in its own house in the 8th house as co-ruler of Scorpio. And as opposed to Aries, where it's about forging new ground and you know, being at the head of everything and competing and, you know, going after things. In the water sign, it's the regenerative powers of Mars. And generative, degenerative, and regenerative. So Mars rules sexual energy as co-ruler of the 8th house. And we've got it in Aquarius here, which talks about sending energy and being pioneering in a way that benefits humanity. Aquarius, of course, is a fixed sign, a fixed air sign. And it is about innovation and ideas and the breaking down of old ways. It's about the value of the upset. And what just occurred to me here is that we don't tend to really move ahead technologically, which technology is Aquarius, unless we're in chaos. You know, the big medical breakthroughs have come, you know, long time ago through the wars, through doctors having to fix things, and through the pandemic, we're developing new things. So, when we have conflict and strife, it can really catalyze change. It can be a driver of innovation. And in the 8th house, it's about magic. I think I'm going to stick with that, considering our purpose here tonight. But it really talks about using your magical energy, generating that sexual kind of energy, that kind of power, that kind of build up and release, and framing it for humanity's sake, for upgrading things, for looking at what you're willing to change, and doing the magic, going deep. 8th house is a bunch of other stuff too. It's how we get our needs met, but when I'm looking at it on a level of the collective, this is what I'm seeing. Okay. Samantha, Spirit of the Wheel deck is playing tonight. Linda E. Illustrations by Jody Bergsma. Okay. Purity, Spirit, Path of the North, Inner Child, Blue Moon, Sacred Path cards. Oh, Roxanne. Yeah, it was one of my very early decks. Thank you, Tavia. I was looking to see when you were checking in on this. Mars method of operation. Ooh, I like that. Colored by Scorpio. Is deeply penetrating and examining. Yes, research. But Aquarius is detached and aloof, so moving in that way. But also that research into technology and really looking with an eye to how it's used. But yes, Mars in the 8th is about research and delving deep. Okay. All right, you guys. Let's see who wants to step up first tonight with the little tiny die. Number 3. Hedgewitch. Hedgewitch Botanical is popping out. All right. Does anybody else have this deck? I think, is she not the creator too of the, yes, she is the creator of the Otherkin. And I think the Line Strider as well, am I right? All right, so our question, of course, is what do we need to know? Where do we put our energy, Mars, so that we can innovate our technology? What do we need to delve into deeply in order to, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, regenerate, but refresh, to reimagine. Aquarius. All right. All right. At the Wildwood. Okay. What do we need to know tonight? Okay, they don't want me to shuffle anymore. And you know what? I am really liking the horseshoe spread lately, but no, they're telling me 3. Connection, sustain, courage. Courage, Mars. So, wow, right off the bat, I forgot this deck had keywords. Very nice. So we're talking about what's sustainable. We connect with each other so that we know what the group needs. And we know what we need. We know what everybody needs and what we all want at a most basic level. But we also connect with nature. And this is Foxglove, Digitalis purpurea. So the connection here is with nature, is with the scale, so we can see how things are balanced. Because we know that a system always works towards equilibrium, right? And some of the weather events, maybe all of the weather events we're having right now, is because the Earth has been thrown out of equilibrium, and she is returning herself to it. She's not trying to; she's returning herself to it. Here's a little nugget from a Hogwarts teaching I did. Trying is doing. I had the kids; they were all sitting in the Great Hall, and I told them I wanted them to try to raise their hands. And they all did it. Okay, now raise your hand. And they all did it. And I said, okay, what's the difference between those two things? You know, if somebody had their arms strapped to their, and, you know, they were doing this, that's one thing. But trying is doing. So when someone says, I'm going to try to, okay, what does that look like? So trying is doing. So we connect with each other. And we look at how can we sustain the systems that sustain us. This is chicory, Cichorium intybus. So I have this little story about chicory. I love the flowers. The color is that kind of periwinkleish blue, such a soft, beautiful blue. And one time I thought I was going to grab a bunch of them, take them home, and I took some scissors with me, pulled over to the side of the road, cut a whole bunch of it, threw it in the back seat, got home. By the time I got home, the flowers were all white. Some things you just can't possess. But the sustainability, and think about what we are trying to sustain. And what we want to sustain is equilibrium. Because no system can, sustain a high level of something that is kind of artificial or, a cycle forever. It has to, in order to have equilibrium, things have to swing both ways, right? But I think we get out of whack when we try to sustain the peak. That's all I want is the peak, and I don't ever want to see the low. And if we keep pushing towards that, then, something external will come to bring us back to equilibrium. Okay, transform. Yes, Tavia, that's the word. Yep, Scorpio's birth, death. Getting to the heart of the matter, exactly, with Digitalis there. But the connection, what is the fundamental connection between all of us? That we all need the same thing, and we need to sustain the systems that sustain us, and we have to have the courage to try new things, to innovate, the courage to innovate for deep change and transformation. So it's always been a mystery to me how greedy people, the big oil fat cats, lack the imagination to just throw all of their money behind solar, which is going to be the way of the future, and make their money there, But they don't see that. They can't control that. Once solar panels are installed, you can't control energy. Everybody gets it, So that's the thing. Anyhow, I think that's a nice message to start off with, is we just need to have the courage to change. The Wheel of Fortune, coming up over and over again, says we are in change. Not change is coming, change is here. Change is constant. So we can look at what is changing and see how we can contribute to that. All right, who's up next? Number 4, the Wildwood. All right. I got some chunky decks to, ooh, all right. 10 of Vessels, Happiness wanted to come out. So that's going to be our significator card here, and I will do a horseshoe. The significator is happiness. What does that mean now? And how often do we check in with ourselves about what exactly that means in practical terms? If you raise your kids, or you want your kids, what do you want for them? I want them to be happy. What does that mean? You know, what makes someone happy? And is it just it is an individual thing. We all have different things that make us happy, but it's very important that we define that for ourselves. Okay. Happiness, happiness. What do you have to tell us about our happiness? Okay, here we go. We've got the Knight of Vessels and the Page of Stones, with the Page of Stones reversed. Oh my God. This is why I love this so much. It's so fun. Okay, so with this horseshoe spread, and I didn't know there were reversed cards here. Okay, we have some reverses. So why I'm laughing, I do another version of this horseshoe spread. So this one, which was with the Llewellyn deck, is past, present, future. What what can give you an advantage right now, what to focus on that's really going to help. And then opinion of another challenge, outcome. I do one the other way from the classic Tarot Spreads book. And this card, you lay them out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you turn this one over first, because it tells you what the point of the reading is. So, anybody want to take a wild guess what this card is? If you can't see, just take a stab. Go ahead. It'll be fun. I'm kind of waiting to see if anybody answers. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I get answers. Take a guess. Take a guess. All right. Ba, 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 the wheel. We are in change. This is what it feels like. All the shit we've been going through is change. We're in it. And, the thing that we need to grapple with for our own happiness is we need to grapple with our own discontent. But let's see what the cards say here. King of Vessels, Eel, is the past. So that would be, or Knight of Vessels, sorry. The Knight of Cups. So there's an offering here. And I'm going to go to the book, because it's a dang court card, and you know how I am. Where are the vessels? No. There they are. All right. So, and this is one of those decks that does the courts separate. All right. The moon on water, the poster. What the hell? Hold on. Y'all messing with me. Now I need the contents page. Good gravy. All right, so they start the suits. All right, Knight of Vessels. And the position on the wheel is passing through the autumn equinox. So any of you guys south of the border, there you go. The reading points: with purity of intent, your destiny defined, you're able to bring wisdom and maturity to your tasks. Embarking on a quest of personal revelation, your vision leads you onward. Your deep feelings are expressed at every turn. So here, relating to this card, in the past we have our times of deep feelings, and, I think I'm going to take a hit on that. And we get the 8 of Bows, which is hearth fire. Okay, so what were you talking about? Getting to the heart of the matter, and here's the hearth, where we connect and where we come into community. So the past that has a bearing on our happiness is our sense of community and trying to reclaim what we can from these very dividing times that we're going through. Now, the present, we have Page of Stones reversed. Haha. I found it. All right. And that's the links. The position is departing midwinter and moving towards Imbolc. Pay attention to the physical realm. Be aware of the effects generated by everything you do. All right, let's see. A strain of wildness and lack of forethought can sometimes hamper your forward passage, but careful consideration redresses the balance. So it's talking about not getting too wild with things, but the Page of Stones would be the Page of Pentacles. And Page of Pentacles to me always talks about learning something very concrete, learning something really practical. Let's take a hit on that one too, and we get another reverse, and it's the Great Bear. Sorry, I have to look these up. I told you these are decks I haven't even thought of in a while. So the Great Bear, winter solstice. The fear of death and damnation have mutated into a distorted view of the card traditionally known as Judgment. So Judgment is about transformation, and it's coming up reversed here. So we have a lot to learn and some practical skills to learn in order to really begin to transform. And the message I'm getting in my ear right now is that we've got to turn away from the wrangling. We have to turn away from the contentiousness and this infighting, because it's a distraction from what we really need to do. We need to turn our attention to what the transformation looks like, what needs transformed in order for us to be fulfilled and happy. And then the Knight of Quartz. The Knight of Stones is horse. And all of these courts have talked about midwinter. So this time of year when we are coming out of the dark in the northern hemisphere, healthy activity, self-sufficiency in the future. Let's take another hit on that one, and we've got another reverse. 5 of Arrows, frustration. So when we really can have a solid practical plan on what transformation looks like and how we can go about it, then we can turn frustration around and start to move forward in a very practical way. So the wheel at the center here says what is advantageous for us. It's recognizing that change is the only constant and being willing to go with it. 6 of Arrows, transition. And this category, the opinion of another, I'm trying to find a way to rename that category so it makes more sense to me. And maybe what it looks like from the outside, or a more objective view. And it is transition. This is the 6 of Swords here. And it talks about moving, being able to move successfully through rough and rocky times, being able to transition. God, I feel like I've been saying the same thing over and over lately. Of getting comfortable with change, getting comfortable with nothing being certain. And then we have the challenge, and respect is the challenge, the 9 of Bows. So that would be the 9 of Wands, I believe. And respect, so there's boundaries here. So we need to respect boundaries as far as people go. We need to respect boundaries of nature most of all. And there are ways that we can do things that have a lower impact. And then the outcome here, we have the Ace of Stones, the foundation of life. So it's peeling away all those outer layers, all of the mental overlays of being human, the politics, the religion, the nationalities, the false identities, the things that keep us separate from each other. And when we peel those things back, what do we get to? That we are all creatures on this planet. We are all creatures on this planet together, and we need to get back to the foundation of that if we want to come to happiness and equilibrium as the wheel turns, as we're in transition, as we're resisting transformation. It all is about coming down to the lowest common denominator. And that is that we are all part of this living system called Earth. So, all right, let's see here. A wheel of t-shirts. What's that? Wait a minute. Oh, God. Oh. Back, yes. That's what's been in my mind every time I've thrown it down is Wheel of Fortune. Oh, my God. My mother, when my father was in hospice care and I was driving up to Michigan and staying with her, that was on all the time. And it was driving me insane. And I remember calling my husband once and he answered the phone and I said, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. Because it was driving me insane. So that's hilarious. Yeah, so it's changed. This is the main thing. And where are we? We're in Pisces. We're at the end of a season. So we are in change. We are in the endings of things and we can embrace it. Wheel of t-shirts, weaving that shirt. Good illustrations of horses, yes. Yeah, because boy, and good illustrations of women's bodies. I hate it when you have naked decks and they clearly have never seen a woman's chest. Okay. From the Rage Farming. Ooh, Samantha, I love that. That is an excellent phrase. Rage Farming. Okay. I look for good bird illustrations. Yeah. Horse deities. A walkthrough of the Heindel. I'll have to pull that one out. Tavia, absolutely. Not judging anyone by what god they worship or what king they know. I can't remember who said that, but I liked it. Yep. Your religion or your politics, it's your heart. It's your humanity. Samantha, it's a wonderful, wonderful phrase. Rage farmers. This is, that's an illustration of, when they talk about negative energy, it's generating this energy that just exhausts you. That's what negative energy is. It pulls from you. It can feel like it's revving you up, but afterwards you end up with less, Okay. Who's up next? Number 6. Here's the Llewellyn. All right. Let's see if she throws that wheel up. A planter of peaceful playfulness. Wait. Okay. Let's try that again, darling. She does not want that. All right. So, what do you have to tell us tonight regarding moving forward into transformation? Would you see that one levitate? I moved on too quick. Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. I'm going to do this. We're going to do the first one up here. And we have the 4 of Wands here. So again, we're talking about community and celebrating. And I always looked at the 4 of Wands as building something together. It's a card that can show weddings, marriages, things like that, like it's a hopa. And so it really is about creating something together, blending of creative energies. All right, in the past, Ace of Cups. In the present, Judgment. In the future, 2 of Wands. In the center, we have the 3 of Swords. Ooh-wee. Then we have the Page of Swords, the Magician, and the King of Swords. Court cards be damned. All right. So, Three of Swords here is beyond discontent. It's grief and loss. We're dealing with um, extreme stress. Extreme stress. Ace of Cups in the past calls our attention to the times when our cup was full and to remind ourselves what that felt like. So if you're doing any kind of meditative practice, it's an excellent time to do like a guided visualization, or slap on the Kelly Howell with just the binaural beat tones, or isochronic tones, or whatever. Just put on, ocean, drumming, something, and do a meditation and think back to the times when you were super, super happy and satisfied. There is on YouTube a video from Tony Robbins, and he's doing a thing called emotional flooding technique. And he takes you through a relaxation, then he talks about calling up a peak moment to your mind when you just felt like on top of the world, beyond happy, just so, these amazing things, and letting that feeling come up and come up and come up. And then he talks about pull up another one and another one and another one. And then you start stacking them on top of each other. And it is the biggest positive energy rush ever. So it's a great exercise to recall that feeling to yourself. And if you're finding it difficult, yeah, it can be. If you're finding it impossible, that could be something else. It could be that you need to speak to someone. Maybe you've got depression or something stuck there. But to call forth those times in great detail, and maybe even write about them. Not about the context, but just about the scenario. God, I don't know, winning the spelling bee when I was in 7th grade, having my children, seeing their faces for the first time, performing on stage, just those peak experiences. And then in the present, we have transformation, death and rebirth, Scorpio, 8th house energy. So here in the present, again, I keep saying the same things every week, but it ain't my fault, it's the cards. Picking what needs to die and what is worth carrying through, and acknowledging what is dying that we cannot save. But looking at how we are going to regenerate and rebuild together, how we are going to spend our creative energies together. So Ace of Cups, as far as collective goes, I'm thinking back to times like when Obama won both times, and when marriage equality happened. I remember it was Hogwarts weekend in the summer, and I grabbed a bell and I went ringing through the halls. We have marriage equality. So those times especially, we have to remember, because those are things that are being lost. Those are things that are, on the chopping block. So if we can generate collectively that good feeling, those feelings of people being taken care of, feelings of not being in crisis and the world going to shit, we have to remember those times and make them live again, so we can put that energy into what we want to create anew. Then Two of Wands in the future is about the plan. Making the plan, being able to look ahead and see, okay, here's where we seem to be going. All right. Then, what's advantageous to us is, of course, we have to deal with our grief. We have to deal with our stress, our tension, our unhappiness, all of that. Page of Swords is the position of another. He's the bearer of truth. He's the discoverer of things. He can be that researcher that we're looking at in the 8th house here. So pulling in from outside or from elsewhere, the people that have the know-how and the creativity together. We've got like creativity and know-how together. And imagination and the will to grieve what's gone and transform and bring in what's new. And then the challenge is the Magician. The challenge is, how much do you trust your magic? How much do you trust magic, period? You know, is it something you give lip service to but you don't really believe in? I'll just stop right there. What is the state of your magic? And that is our challenge, is that we need to remember that creating magic is work. It is work. We have to be able to make what we want to create live in our own system first. We have to make it live in our imagination, live in our emotional body, live in our then it, you know, can live in the physical body. But the creativity and the emotion, that's the fire, that's the water, boom, creation happens, right? But we have to, the challenge is taking the actual steps and doing the magic. And the outcome is King of Swords, who I traditionally, well, at least with my Hanson Roberts, I call him the bastard or the motherfucker. It can talk about rigidity. He can also be just the ultimate intellect, you know, but he can also be judgmental and rigid. So while we're looking at judgment here, what's dying, what's being reborn, we don't want to do it judgmentally, like Tavia was saying. Looking at how we judge people, because remember, we're talking here about the collective creative, and then we have the Hermit as a hit on him. So the outcome here is everybody taking responsibility for their own thing. It's talking about isolation. We start with community, but we've got isolation here, which says that ultimately it is up to each one of us to do our individual work, to take our individual responsibility, start creating in our own little circle, our own little world, the kind of world we want to see in the greater arena. And we have to be willing to look deep. That, you know, the outcome here is we will see very clearly, great discernment. And he's an Aquarian kind of figure too, and be willing to look very, very deeply. Interesting, Hermit as an outcome. Let's see. Let me catch up with some stuff here and see what you guys think. Okay. Understanding you've built a foundation, time for us to join all our foundations together. Absolutely. Ooh, during May. That's a good deck for May. It is a very springy, natural deck. You guys are so sweet. Sam says, I keep being shown that like timelines are collapsing or conjoining, and that individually and collectively we're deciding what to release. Yes, absolutely. And we are collapsing or conjoining. Timelines, I like that concept too. Timelines are collapsing or conjoining. Yes, think about timelines. I really like that image, Sam, of collapsing a timeline. You know, we think we can have things installed in our heads from a long time ago that really make us think that a certain way is inevitable. But when we look deeply and we can discover that, no, that isn't really, you know, when we get fully into the present and see things clearly, then we can think, okay, that's not the way I want to head. And maybe we take some time to magically, which just means in a very focused, intentional way, collapse that timeline. That's not the way I'm going. And then conjoining, that's a great concept. Oh, those are wonderful. Difference between being judgmental and making a judgment. Absolutely, Samantha. And I was reminded this week of the quote by, I can't remember his name now, but it says, this is Buddhist. So Buddhist sayings translated to the West can seem wrong on the surface until you know how to look underneath. The great way is not difficult for those who have no preferences. That means we go beyond like and dislike. When hope and fear are absent Everything is clear and undisguised. We take life at face value when we're not constantly reaching out for what we're trying to attract and pushing away what we are rejecting. Right? But to make the slightest, so when hope and fear are absent, everything is clear and undisguised. But to make the slightest distinction between, like, dislike, good, bad, all that, when you make the slightest judgment on things, heaven and earth are pulled infinitely apart. Good, bad. So, making a judgment, judging people is one thing. We do have to make judgments. We can't be entirely without judgment. We have to make decisions in our lives. But we're talking about the attachment and aversion kind of suffering. I like this, I don't like that. And being able to drop that so we can see everything at face value. Yeah, tall order. All right. Believe in magic working for others, but not in our own lives. Oh, Tavia, you're so right. Oh, honey. Imposter syndrome. For a while there, it was like I had an imposter syndrome about my imposter syndrome. Just, yes. Life can make us really doubt what we truly know at our core. So it is, all we're asking here is that we're able to examine those things, that we're able to look deeply into those subconscious emotional kind of patterns. Yeah, Sam, totally. Okay. And time isn't linear in a field of creation. Absolutely. When you're in the circle, there is no time and no space. All right. Let's see who's next. What was that? We've gotten 3. All right. Who's next? We've done you already. So we need 1, 2, or 5. 2. And that is the good tarot. And here's where I get grumpy because, damn, is this a big deck. I cannot shuffle this deck like in any way. You're welcome, Samantha. And I guess I did shuffle that, but it ain't easy. All right, I think I'm going to do a split and pull. We'll see. All right. So we've had like the 3 tarots, 1, 2, 3 in a row. That's kind of cool. Let's just see what we have here. They don't all have to do a horseshoe, do they? Ah, good heavens, his cards are huge. It makes my hands. Yeah, they are frickin' huge. Temptation. The 7 of air. The 2 of air. And the Hanged Man. Ooh. All right, so let's look at the bookends here first. Temptation. And what's coming through with this card for me is not just temptation, but our weakness in the face of it. Temptation doesn't mean anything if we just don't regard it. If we don't have that desire, that's attachment. Temptation, it means nothing if we are not hooked into the like-dislike. And it's so very difficult in a world where there's so much stress wherever you look that we're constantly looking for dopamine hits, constantly looking for some kind of pleasure. So, this is why we gain all the weight back that we lost on keto. So grappling with our own attachment, with where things have more control of us than we have of them. That is always one of the phrases that I've used with the Devil card. Where we give over our willpower and our power of choice. And the other bookend is the Hanged Man, and seeing things from a different perspective. When we see temptation from a different perspective, it loses its hold over us. Seven of Air. All right. Seven of Swords. She has a mask on. Independence, nonconformity, living life on one's own terms without people pleasing. So you see, this isn't a deck where it's just like, oh, that's Seven of Swords. It's a whole different system. Now is the time for me to live life on my own terms. So I must find the courage to reject conformity. Aquarius rejects conformity utterly. Listening to my yearning for independence is key to breaking free of groupthink and attending to my own needs. Diplomacy with others can help me be true to my call to do what I know I must do for myself. Now, we talked about judging and judgment. What about the collective, creative, and groupthink? Because groupthink is just going with the herd, which is exactly the opposite of what Aquarius wants. Aquarius wants to bust out on its own path, but the courage to reject conformity is that Mars in Aquarius. Oh my goodness. So part of temptation is context. Thinking about, the times where we find ourselves falling prey to temptation that we don't want to do, and that's maybe when you're in a social situation and everybody's doing it. There's the groupthink thing, or just being afraid to go against the grain. But Hanged Man says no. And part of it too, Hanged Man is saying, is just recognizing where we don't really have the power of choice and just leaving that alone. Don't step into that ring, right? Surrender. Sacrifice and surrender are necessary at times like this. Nothing in life is free, nor does everything happen according to my timetable. When this card appears, I'm reminded that a delay is in my best interest, that until all the elements are in place, I'm meant to surrender to the greater will for the highest good of all. Time for me to let go of my attachment to how I thought things had to be. I am called to surrender and wait to see how things play out, and I am having the biggest deja vu right now. Okay. Man, that just blew through and now it's gone. All right. Let's look at Two of Air here. Stalemate, uncertainty, considering options. Time to take a break to consider my options and think about things. There's no need to rush forward. The perfect answer for the highest good will come to me if I take my time and remain in a peaceful state of mind. That goes very well with the Hanged Man. Hanging out. But here, yearning for independence is key to breaking free of groupthink. So we want to bust out of where we are stuck with groupthink, and we are looking at going into, again, your tribe, finding those people that you can create with. Okay, I want to look at these two in between here. Let's see. All right, I will look up the High Priestess in this deck. Here's the Empress coming in between these two, breaking away from groupthink and taking a break to just be, and the Empress is all about being in the body and enjoying sensual pleasures. So temptation here, I think we get into excess through temptation when we're trying to fill a hole. Me with my night eating. But if we take time and, okay, I'm going to eat this chocolate and don't do anything else but eat that chocolate. This is advice I used to give for people that were trying to quit smoking, is you acknowledge that the cigarettes or whatever the thing is you're trying to break free of, were there for a good reason. They served a purpose in the beginning. Acknowledge that, thank them, put the pack on your altar. And anytime you want to smoke a cigarette, you can only do that one thing. You're not allowed to drink a cup of coffee. You're not allowed to take a shit. You're not allowed to talk on the phone. You're not allowed to watch TV or listen to the radio or anything except sit and smoke that cigarette with your entire being. And if you're going to do that, first of all, it brings it into consciousness, which a habit is, the definition is it's a behavior that's unconscious. So the first thing is you want to bring it into consciousness. And when it comes to things that aren't harmful to your body, or, you know, even that are, but you're trying to adjust your relationship, you have to really sensually interact with that thing. And in this way, you might find, in the instance of, you know, smoking cigarettes or a habit that's not really good for you like that, that it comes down to a choice now. Okay, I can only do one thing. Would I rather do this or this? And then you can start choosing the more positive things rather than spending your time on that other thing. And if it's something that it's like delicious food that we're eating too much of, well, if we can slow down instead of stuffing it in while we're watching TV, if we can slow down, give our attention to it, and enjoy it to its absolute fullest, then that might be the path to altering our perspective and changing our relationship with it. Okay, Tavia, I'm going to find the High Priestess for you. Another timeline converging, I know. And the Empress is pregnant with possibilities. Yes, she is. Darcy. All right. I have to split this deck. I can't leaf through them because it's too damn big. All right. This is a reminder too that there are unboxing videos of all of these. Okay. Sorry, I'm just looking at everything again. The moon, patience, fire, fire above, king of earth, chariot. Yes, it really is a reimagining, but it, you know, it's a Hay House deck, and I'm realizing that Hay House decks are ones that I reach for the least often. Oh, there she is. She was right on the bottom of the deck. There she is. But I don't end up reaching for them because they're so damn big and I get frustrated. All right. You know what? I think I need to take a small break so I won't be wiggling in my chair. So I'm going to go talk amongst yourselves. We'll leave the drumming. See you in a minute. There. The Iron Woman rusts out. So I earned the nickname the Iron Woman back when I was, it was the year before my senior year, and my friends got me tickets to the World Series of Rock, and I went for 21 hours from the time we left our house to go to that concert until I got back home without peeing once, because I was terrified to go to the bathroom because I'd lose everybody. But I earned the nickname the Iron Woman. Okay, onward. By the way, you guys, do you like them? Here, I want you to see them big. Looky. I finished them. I love this pattern so much. so much. Many lessons were reinforced in their making, and they are 850 beads each, I counted. All right, here we go. Yes, it is a gorgeous deck. Oh my goodness, yeah, I'm very wobbly too, but it's because I sit on my ass all the time. All right, 6, so we need either 1 or 5. 2, no, 1 or 5. 3, 1 or 5. 5. This deck is modified. Okay, I did that. It went off when I smacked the cards, so disregard. But when I started working with this deck a little bit, there was just so much to remember with each of the animals. So what I did was I went in and wrote keywords around the borders of all of them. So we have keywords, and there's a horse. A bead collar for Pi. I've never put a collar on Pi, and I don't want to. I don't think it would go well. I think we would have needed to start that when he was a kitten. So, yeah, it's not my pattern. I got the pattern on Etsy, and I just love it. And they were supposed to be 12 beads longer, and I edited them down a little bit. So they were supposed to have like 1,750 beads or something insane like that. 1175, I can't remember. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting, Laura, because today I was looking at him, and he's just so sleek and wonderful. In fact, he's over there. Hey, look. Check it out. Oops. There he is. You can see. Kinda. I retrieved my phone that I knocked down. But he was next to me, and I was looking. He's got such a beautiful neck, and I was thinking, oh, he'd be so handsome in a collar, and I can just imagine the destruction that would happen if we tried. So, all right. Animal Spirit Guidebook. Animal Spirit. What does the animal spirit world have to tell us? What do we need? What's your message? You can give us a different message. That would be great. All right. I'm just going to go. There's tarantula. I'm going to do the 4 across the center again. Frog, cobra, and golden egg. Ooh. Okay. Tarantula says, at a crossroad, follow instinct, claim life's purpose. It is fire. And frog is water. Clearing, cleansing, healing. Cobra is fire, pausing, the inner teacher. And the golden egg is spirit, I believe is the circle. Message at the center of the heart, the 4th chakra, the unstruck sound. I'm going to read that one because that sounds very Buddhist to me. I haven't encountered that in a while, so let's just see. Oh, is this one of those decks where you don't know how the hell to find the cards? Oh, here we go. So the circle is spirit. All right. Next. But they're not in any frickin' order from there. Golden egg. All right. And if I'm correct, so In the table of contents, all we have is earth cards, water cards, fire cards, air cards, spirit cards. So you can tell by this symbol on the card what category it belongs to. But then when you get to that category, they're not in any order and you just have to leaf through them. There's no number, they're not listed in the contents. Why? Okay. Within the golden egg lives a precious sound. Deep within that sound resides a message. The sound cannot be heard nor the message discerned until we retreat from the noise of modern day life. The magical essence of the golden egg needs warmth, quiet, and time to unfold. No rushing, pushing, or grasping. Find a place of deep and restful ease, perhaps through yoga nidra or meditation. If you do not yet have a meditation practice, take some time for introspection and contemplation. When the mind begins to settle and the breath is calm, ask the question that weighs heaviest on your heart, staying open to any response you hear. Engaging with the energy of the golden egg is an advanced practice. It requires becoming intimate with our very essence and comfortable with vulnerability. When a feeling of tenderness or gratitude arises from deep within you, know that you are well on your way. Your chest may swell like you're seeing an old friend that's been away for a long, long time. Listen to the message they've been waiting to tell you. And it's the golden egg in the fourth chakra. The subtle essence of the golden egg is nestled deep within the heart center at the fourth chakra. This chakra, called Anahata, is the home of the self or soul. By bringing the mind into this center, we discover a portal to the most intimate and luminous space. It is said our inner guide sits there in deep meditation waiting for us. Anahata translates as the unstruck sound. And that is something to meditate on. So, claiming life's purpose, being at a crossroads. What do we do? Which way do we go? Okay, come back to that foundation of what are you here to do? What are you here to accomplish? And if you can't see, like in the big picture, what am I here to accomplish today? What do I need to accomplish in this moment? But life's purpose is really about the bigger cycles. So, and follow your instinct too. So one of the things that you can do is when you have a choice before you, sit with each one of them and see what your body tells you. Do you feel your chest kind of caving in, or do you feel it open up like this card just talked about? We always want to choose, if we can, the circumstances that allow us to open up. If we are forced to go down a path that doesn't make us feel that way, which happens all the time in life, then we get our shields up. Get your shields up, get your team around you. Okay, clearing, cleansing, healing. Frog says that we have to take that time for ourselves, soak in water, you know, or if you're a water moon or an empath and you get downloads when your hands are in water and stuff, go do the dishes, go soak, take a shower. And again, doing magic so that everything you do is magical. So that you bring the intention and the consciousness to even the most mundane tasks, and it adds that other layer. So you're working on the etheric realm as well. So cleaning the room. Think about the dust that you're cleansing out of your mind, the dust, how you're making things clean and clear and healthy. Then Cobra, pausing and the inner teacher. I want to look at this. He is fire. All right. Pausing, waiting. The cobra represents a teacher or spiritual guardian. The cobra hovers and watches, ever present, ever protecting, ever loving. The essence of the cobra is found deep within us in the form of the inner teacher and manifests externally in those special guides who've led us along our path. What would it feel like to be a student again? What are you ready to learn? Remember the old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And you know what the fact of that is? It's not that the teacher suddenly appears, it's that the teachers are always there. There are always teachers ready there for us. But when we're ready, then we're receptive and we can recognize them. Okay, what would it be like to be a student again? Today, this afternoon, while I was finishing the fringe on one of these, I found a video for Losar, which is Tibetan New Year, and Prema Dasara, my teacher in the Tara dance, and they did a mandala. They're doing these wonderful Zoom mandalas with dancers from all over the world. And so I was able to, while I was finishing, beading, sewing, connecting things, I was in the Tara mantra, which is so very powerful. And I was sending such blessings to my teacher Prema and how much she's brought into my life. So pausing to connect, not just, the inner teacher is those lessons that you have internalized from outside, and it's also your own inner gut wisdom. So when you're talking about following your instinct, that's the inner teacher as well. But it's also giving it the time and space, because this is pausing and waiting, for the information to swim up to the surface, to come up in your conscious mind, giving yourself the time and space to experience things in the moment that can catalyze those aha moments. And the center of the heart, the unstruck sound, so we connect with that inner teacher at that deep level of the heart chakra, and we can be led forward through transition, through the crossroads, and through healing. I'm going to take, two want to come apparently. Let's take 3 instead. Tiger, the lunar force, ease in darkness and feminine energy. This is see your true self, balancing the ego. This feels like personal, this feels like transpersonal. Personal body, cleansing and healing the body, taking care of the mind and your, the purpose that you define. This is the inner teacher and connecting with that wisdom at the deepest level. And that is our true self. We see our true self, and we have to bring together the lunar force, the feminine energy, which is the dark energy, not meaning evil, meaning hidden, meaning deep, meaning very personal, meaning beyond reason. And here this says purge, annihilate the unnecessary, self-destructive, brave, productive. Look at fire, 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 fire. One water, one spirit. So self-destructive, but annihilate the unnecessary. That's a judgment card that's been coming up all over the place. Hook with the lunar force, connect deep within, and then look at the, balancing the ego. This is in Peacock, inner beauty, compassion, assimilation of anything. The peacock is said to ingest poison plants, and that is said to cause the beautiful, brilliant colors. So when we have assimilating anything, and that is an air card, and that is an air card too. Eagle, haha, truth seeker, transforms karma, all pervading power. Boy, if that isn't a Tara card. And then we and how do we go about this? And then you can read them back this way. Hyena, humor, sarcasm, humor, not taking yourself so goddamn seriously. That's wonderful. Truth seeker, inner beauty, the moon forces, the purge, the willing to annihilate things that do not serve you. Allowing your true self to emerge from all of this, and pausing to listen to that inner teacher to clear and heal and cleanse and claim your life's purpose. Boy, I do like these cards, and I do like them with the keywords on them. So maybe I will be reaching for them again because they are easy to shuffle. All right. Peacock, Hecate, and Hera. Yes, some kitty mammals. You're right, Tavia. Look what's on the bottom, Scorpion. Kitty, 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 kitty. So we had hyena, eagle, panther, tiger. Yeah. All right. And now, taking the place of honor, the Sacred Path cards. And Samantha, one of your new favorite sayings is, I'm mostly peace and love with just the right amount of fuck off. Absolutely. You betcha. These are hard to... All right, that came out upside down, but this is the very first, this is the number 1 card, Pipe, that wanted to come out here. I can't remember if this deck has reverses, but we'll find out. Pipe is prayer and inner peace. Three, please. What do we need to know? Oh. Well, there's my 3. We have Power Place on top there. War Bonnet, which is advance. Counting Coup, which is victory. And Great Smoking Mirror, which is reflections. All right, let's see if we can look up Pipe upside down. And it is me that is setting that ball off. The application. Okay, we have long stories in these. A little verse. Pipe of my forefathers, teach me to sing praise for all of the gifts that Great Mystery gave. Allow me to know my spirit's release and bring to my heart eternal peace. So I'm not going to read the whole story, but this deck has wonderful First Nation stories for every card. The Pipe card speaks of inner peace that can be found through the balancing of the self. Boy, they're consistent tonight. It's now time to honor both sides of your nature, male and female, and to acknowledge the eternal flame of great mystery that lives inside of you. How you influence the lives of others depends upon this balance. Inner peace can be found through prayer and the understanding of your role in the whole of creation. World peace begins in the heart of each individual. Remember the hermit over there? We each have to do our own part, to take our own responsibility to bring the new world alive in our own lives. Okay, it may be time to make peace with others or with any inner conflict that keeps you from seeing the beauty of your true potential. In all cases, the Pipe card asks you to honor the blessings given by Great Mystery. It asks you to honor who you are and why you are here. There's the life purpose and the self. It asks you how you can assist our world. In making peace with the self, these questions will be answered and the sacred path will become clear. So one thing I've noticed in my cronehood is that I am finally learning, or just actually doing, practicing not taking things personally. I've gone through my life, a whole lot of it just being so defensive because I'm so wounded. You know, when you perceive, when you're constantly feeling like you're under attack, everybody and everything is your attacker, and you can become very defensive. When the smallest conflicts arrive, like when somebody doesn't hear what you said, they ask you to repeat it, you know? So really getting to that inner peace of, I don't have to take things personally. I can just relax. I can just relax and let it be what it is and answer whatever at face value. But this also talks about prayer. All right, let's look at War Bonnet. War Bonnet of the Warrior Clan honors you have earned, eagle feathers, lofty thoughts, courage you have learned. Teach us of the forward thrust, advancing to the right. Parley now, counsel fire, wisdom true and bright. Now, advancing to the right means going sunwise, you know, going clockwise. And did anybody else react to that phrase the way I did, considering what context we've been mucking about in. All right, if the war bonnet has appeared in your cards today. All right, stop now. You're too sensitive. Stop. There. Sorry. If the war bonnet has appeared in your cards today, it is time to advance. Don't waste energy on going backward or staying in the doldrums. You are now able to move to the next step on the sacred path. Like a war-bonneted chief, you have earned the right to learn the next set of life's mysteries. That's what initiation is. I'm done with this part, ready for new stuff. And that's where we are. We're in this change. Take your medicine bundle and all of the strengths it represents and charge forward. The advance can be on any level. Your spiritual, physical, mental, and emotional healings are understood through life's experiences. You can now approach your destiny with every feather you have earned, marking your past victories, and see the destiny you have chosen emerging before you. The medicine is strong and will allow the advancement you need at this time. That second paragraph kind of encapsulated all these readings that we've done tonight. Dang. Okay, so staying in the doldrums. Do you remember just a couple of lives ago when that was our focus, is just being in the doldrums and nothing moving forward? And boy, now it really feels like things have loosened up and we are advancing. We're moving forward. And this talks about, it took me back to that Ace of Cups in the past, saying we need to look at our past victories and also look at things in the past where, gosh, I used to be like that. In the past, I would have reacted to that in this way. And now, here's where I am. Because it can be difficult to see how you have changed and advanced. Because you're up close, you're in your own life. Hard to be objective about it, but that can be an exercise. All right. Counting coup. Oh, hi, Sandra. When all else fails, laugh and be a smartass. You got that right, Sandra. You came to the right place, man. This is Smartass Central. Love toxic people from a distance. Yes, indeed. The numbers are catching my attention. Also, one is on top of 20, which reduces to 2, and then 40 reduces to 4, which double equals 2. I'll trust your math. Kind of spiraling energy going upward, going. Okay. So let's look at counting coup. To know that I have honored my words with my deeds, that I have honored my words with my deeds. Sweet victory is shared by all in filling others' needs. Humankind rejoices, the prize of counting coup, harmony and balance, a peaceful world anew. The war cry has been shouted and victory is assured if you have received the counting coup card. You're being put on notice that a personal victory is in the works. And this is a collective reading. You may have overcome a long-time challenge or conquered an opponent, so now it is time to share your victory with others. Whether the victory is one of a spiritual nature or of winning a lottery ticket makes no difference. You are to honor yourself at this time and be grateful for this blessing. Counting coup represents the success of forward movement and the acknowledgement of right action. You've been true to yourself and are being rewarded for staying on the sacred path. Congratulations. Victory is sweet, but sweeter still when the spoils are shared with those you care for. Share the joy of your coup with those who want to see you winning. Remember, warriors who had counted coup always took care of the widowed, aged, and feeble. The material victories shared bring further honor, providing another coup feather for those willing to give away. All right. There's just a short aside that I want to take here. When I was working with, it was with the Pavlov deck, and I was just asking some questions on timing and stuff, and shuffling and saying, show me an ace, I'm taking one card for a month, when is this going to happen? And I was getting really interesting answers on things, and the last one I did was tell me when Donald Trump will be indicted, and I'm shuffling. It was like one card for a month starting with March. Shuffle with my eyes closed. I feel a card drop into my lap, and I look down, it's the Ace of Swords. which reminded me of the Book of Answers. When I took it over to my sister-in-law Tee's house, and I said, here, it's a Book of Answers. Ask a question, just open it up to the answer. And she grabbed it and said, is Donald Trump going to get indicted? And opened it up, and it said, yes. This book is this thick and has all these phrases and different, and it just said, yes. Okay. This deck is the Sacred Path cards, Sandra, by Jamie Sams. Yes, thank you, Sam. All right, and then we have Great Smoking Mirror. Through the smoke, I see looking back another reflection of me. Mirror of my inner self, who are you if I am me? Mirror of my outer self, what do others see? Is it the truth in my heart or human vanity? These little verses are just packed full, aren't they? All right. And this, the teaching is this big long part. This is called the application here. Great Smoking Mirror reflects the lesson of leaving the myth behind. You are what you decide you are. Remove the smokescreen that hides your natural talents or worth and stand tall. Recognize the areas to be developed further and begin that process. Stop cowering before your potential. Stop cowering before your potential. And what is potential? It's kind of, if looked at in the wrong way, it's attachment. I have to live up to this. Remember that you are a realized being in this moment. You are complete as you are. There are millions of role models to choose from. So wait, I'm going to back up and read that again. Stop cowering before your potential and live your truth. There are millions of role models to choose from. On another level, you're being asked to be a good reflection for others. I was thinking about examples a little bit earlier. Encourage others to be bold through walking your talk. The reflections you see in others may not make you happy if you are doubting yourself and your right to be. Jealousy on any level only inhibits growth and wastes energy. Shatter the mirrors that insist on self-importance, gloom, or failure so you can get down to what's really important. And cowering before our potential can look like being a perpetual failure because I will never live up, or being a perfectionist. I'll never live up to my potential, so why bother? So stop cowering before your potential, kick it out the door, and deal with the life you have now, what you're living, who you are. Whole, complete in this moment. On all levels, the smoking mirror asks us to accept light and shadow as equal. Yes. The reflections we dislike can be worthy opponents who teach us to grow into our potential. Even our shadow sides serve us by leading us through trial and error to the true image of the self. And they're telling me one more. I've got Power Place up here. We might as well go for it. Earth Connection Empowerment. There's that Empress. Earth Connection. The Power Place at the center of the circle. Finding Earth Connection in the place that speaks to me, sandy beach or mountain, forest filled with trees, high desert or windswept prairie, I will know it well. It will make my heart sing of the river and the dell. You are seeking a way to become a catalyzer of certain life events if you have chosen the Power Place card. Hi, Sister Catalyzers. Being the catalyzer in any situation means you are commanding your talents to affect some kind of result. This ability is learned through Earth Connection. Your body can conduct the energy you need to create the desired outcome if you allow the Earth Mother to feed you the extra voltage. You know that little meditation we do in the beginning? That is reaching down into the earth and letting her feed you the extra voltage. What a great phrase. Find a personal power place and call upon the four elements through prayers of gratitude. Then you can command your talents for good and affect the empowerment of manifestation. In doing so, your needs will be met. You can make it happen by using your creativity and receiving the energy needed from Mother Earth. Remember that you are a catalyzer and are totally responsible for your personal empowerment. There's that hermit again. We are totally responsible for our personal path, and we can't afford to wait for other people to get their shit together and realize they're even on a path. Follow it, get there, catalyze in your own life, start to create the world that you want to see in your own life. If we each take personal responsibility for that one at a time, things change. Change can only happen at the individual level. Holy moly. Okay, let's see here. Tavia says, I love the shamanic decks the most. Yes. Yes. And there's I almost pulled the mystical shaman out. That was another overly packaged deck, but it really is a good one too. Stop cowering before your potential. Yes, Samantha, I love that phrase. Jamie Sams also has a lot of wonderful books out to see. Okay. Yep, the medicine cards too. Thank you, Roxanne. I'm loving it too. The Great Smoking Mirror is another judgment card. Oh, bingo. You're absolutely right, Catherine. Here we go. At least one brother catalyzer. Well, fellow, you know. So many strong women here. Yes, we are. Judging yourself by what or whose standards, indeed, cowering before potential. Yeah, and you know, it's, what did I say in the beginning? Taking off all those layers. Politics, meaning, labels, roles, all of those things. I was thinking earlier about the call and response thing we used to sing at the beginning of Mother Drum. I'm not going to sing it now because my voice is not there. But it was, I would sing a line and they would sing back. As I claim this time and place, encircling myself with sacred space, I make the choice to leave behind me thoughts and feelings that may bind me to the duties of my life. I am not mother, girlfriend, wife. For this time I belong to me. In this place my spirit is free to be the woman I'm made to be, to dance and drum in ecstasy. For now my hands and feet and voice express my spirit's deepest joys, but the love of my sisters surrounding me, as I do will, so let it be. That was our statement of intent at Mother Drum. And the whole point of Mother Drum was I kept going to drum circles, and you know, I'm a trance drummer and I kept going to circles, and it was the same group of guys, and they did this typical guy thing where they would start playing and they would get a rhythm, and you had a lot of beginners in these, you know, open drum circles, and they would get, you know, and people would just start, okay, making their body move in rhythm, and then somebody would start speeding it up until it all explodes, and then it's done. And I'm like, you know, can we just be there for a while? Can we just be there? So I started looking for a women's drum circle because I suspected it might be different, and I couldn't find one, so I started one. This was in 2001. And what I found is that the sexual metaphor is very accurate. You think of male sexuality. And what is the symbol for male? The line. What is the symbol for female? The circle. But when we would drum at Mother Drum, start a heartbeat, we would do that in unison, and then you could improvise on it. And we would play and play and play, and it would just kind of go up, maybe speed up a little bit, and then we would just go and go. And it was so good. The amazing thing about it is that I didn't guide it. Hear that heartbeat? We would do that, and then it would just kind of go up to this peak, and it would just ride there, ride. And then, without me guiding it, it would just kind of start to come back down again and come to peace. And then we would do the big blah, 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 blah at the end. But just, you know, that metaphor of really, what was the point of me that I was starting here? I don't know. But just that the circle representing the feminine, it doesn't start and stop, it just continues round and round and round. In pagan traditions, the god, when you look at the wheel of the year, the god dies and rises again. He's born at the solstice, and he dies, you know, at Samhain, and then, or during the harvest, he's the grain that's cut down, and then he rises again. But the goddess is continuous. She does not die. She becomes the crone, and she miraculously gives birth out of this cronehood, and then she is rejuvenated into the young maiden goddess, and the woman goddess, and the mother goddess, and then into the crone goddess, the harvest, the virgin of the harvest, and into the crone. But she is continual. The male dies and is reborn. So, wow. Okay. Yeah, I miss my mother drum. And actually, look in my playlists. There is a mother drum playlist, and on that playlist is the whole mother drum CD that has the sung call and response on it. It is yours. It is yours to use, to listen to. The drumming that you hear on the lives is from that CD as well. So please go look that up, make use of it, listen to it. There's a meditation, there's a long grounding meditation. So it's there for you. Please remember it's there and make use of it. All right, yes, Darcy, oh my God, how bad do you miss it, honey? Huh. So anyhow, you guys, that was fun. That was really super fun. And I'm so glad you were here. I'm so glad you decided to come and hang out with me. If you're interested, down below there is a link to my Patreon. It's only $3 a month, and it's just to support the channel and say that you like what I'm doing. It gives me enough money to buy a new deck every month. So thank you for that if you join. And if you don't have the money to do that, then at least subscribe to the channel and hit like, please, because that helps me too. So if you haven't hit the like button, please do that for me. It costs you nothing and it really helps me. I will be doing another unboxing for Friday. I will be putting up a full moon video soon, and I need to look at Saturn's ingress into Pisces. So yeah, stuff to do. When they will happen is when they happen. But I just want to tell you again how much I appreciate all of you and how much I look forward to hanging out with you on Wednesday nights so very much. Please be safe, be healthy. I send you many, many, many blessings, and I wish you good magic, that you can jump on this wheel, this transition, this change we're going through, that you can bring your personal magic to it, and that you can see the change that we want to see and the change that we want to be, that you can see it manifest in your own life very soon. All right, you guys, take care. Oh, I forgot. There's a wish list below, too, the Amazon wish list. And if you want to buy me a deck off of that, when I do the unboxing, I will read for you. You can give me a question. You know, Amazon lets you write a little note. You can send me a question if you have one, or I'll just do a general reading for you. All right, you guys, let me catch up with the messages for last. Yes, great evening. It has been very good. I love you too, sweetie. Hi, Val. You snuck in at the end there. Oh, yeah, hit that like button. Thank you. Thank you so much, you guys. All right, take care. I will see you live next week. Till then, blessed be.